Risk management by itself, having defined risk now, risk management is the art and science of identifying, analyzing, and responding to risk factors throughout the life cycle of a project. Project risk, of course, by definition, we are saying any event that can negatively affect the viability of a project. I must also tell you, English language is a bit funny because we don't really have a right antonym for risk. So risk can be sometimes positive as well. So any project, when you say risk, you have to define the negative risk as well as the positive risk. The positive risks are the opportunities, as you know. The process of risk management. How do we do this? If you look at the risk management process, typically you are starting with planning risk management, identifying the risk, performing qualitative risk analysis, then going on to a quantitative risk analysis and typical risk responses, and finally monitoring and control. The objective is to increase the probability and impact of positive events and decrease the probability and the impact of negative events. The planning process, how to conduct the risk management, that is a planning process. It ensures the degree and type of visibility of risk management for everybody in the organization. It also ensures sufficient resources and also the time that are required for handling the risks. And it should begin immediately as the project is conceived, and it should be completed early during the project planning phase. If you look at risk planning, this is performance versus time. The actual performance, as you can see, could be very much below. You deliver something which is based on your understanding of the expectation of the customer, which is slightly above the actual performance perhaps, and the customer expectation is slightly above. Why I am showing this slide is to tell you where the risk management comes in. Poor risk management leads to actually customer expectations being totally away from what you have delivered. The actual performance versus what you have delivered is a technical inability, not poor risk management. So risk management is handling the customer expectations at the right time with the right technical inputs. When you look at risks in the beginning of a project, it looks like a Manhattan, like the cricket Manhattans, as you can see. It looks big Manhattans all around right through the number of risks, and they go on decreasing as you go through the time zones in the project, like initiation, planning, implementation, and delivery. That is because your lack of understanding of the project in the initial phases that you have this kind of a number that comes up. Over a period of time, you are understanding the project and the number of risks come down. This is another way of explaining what happens in a typical project life cycle. If you see this, the opportunity that is available, as I explained, risk and opportunity, they are on either side of a coin. The opportunity is very high. Naturally, you assume that there will be a lot of risk in a particular project. That is in the beginning. Then you get the project in. Once it is in, it is going through your concept phase. You start putting money into the project. Slowly, it gets into the development phase. The amount that is put in the project goes on increasing. And you are getting into the implementation phase. You have already put in the money. You have developed halfway through. There is no going back after this. That means the risk now really hits you if you have not done the risk analysis correctly. So the period of highest risk impact is between the implementation and the termination phase of any project. There is no way that you can go back. You have to close the project, and whatever risks have not been anticipated, you have to take it in your stride, get hit, and then close the project. So the process of risk management, what is likely to happen, what can be done, and what are the warning signs, and what are the likely outcomes. When you look at risks in a project, it can be broken down just like we do the work breakdown structure. Typical technical risks, the external risks, the organizational risks, and the project management risks. As you can see there, the technical risks are relating to the requirement, the technology, the complexity, the quality. And the project management risks typically are